The commander of U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan, General Stanley McChrystal, is expected to present his report on the situation in Afghanistan soon. Pentagon Press Secretary Geoff Morrell said the assessment will not make any recommendations or ask for any additional forces.
If it is determined by the commander that he needs additional resources to complete his mission, that request will be made through the normal chain of command. It will go up through CENTCOM to the Joint Staff to the Secretary and be validated along the way. And the Secretary will have to make a determination about whether or not he recommends to the President additional troops.
With violence on the rise in Afghanistan, the job of NATO's International Security Assistance Force only gets more challenging. The Pentagon channel recently spoke with Canadian Brigadier General Tremblay, who's getting an up-close look at the situation. The first half of 2009 has been a deadly one for civilians in Afghanistan. The United Nations reported last month more than 1,000 civilians have been killed so far this year, a 24% increase from the same period the previous year. General Tremblay, a spokesperson for ISAF, says the majority of those casualties have been caused by the insurgency. He says, though, the military has made some mistakes which have resulted in civilian deaths as well.
We never intended to target civilians, which is quite different. The insurgents are indiscriminately targeting civilians and suicide bombers targeting civilians, and there's enough examples of that.
But General Tremblay says NATO troops are improving their tactics on the ground and have been reducing their collateral damage.
We ensure every day by the way we conduct our operations and use force to minimize civilian casualties.
In the end, General Tremblay says ISAF's #1 goal is to secure the Afghan population.
We're here to help the Afghans to build up their country, to improve their quality of life, and to give a future to themselves and their children. I could not think of a better cause. Every time a soldier dies, it's not in vain.
And he says every soldier understands what they're doing is for a much greater cause than themselves. 131,000 former and current Army National Guard members may be the victims of identity theft. A personal laptop owned by an Army Guard contractor was stolen in late July. It contains personal information on soldiers enrolled in the Guard's bonus and incentives program. For more information, go to ng.mil. You can also call 877-481-4957. Coming up next on Around the Services, stress test. Find out what's being added to Army basic training to help soldiers build the mind and body. But first, we'll take you to an intense exercise at Hurlburt Field, where airmen are learning to prepare for any emergency.